Here we are. Live from the backyard. Beautiful day here. Such a beautiful day. Such a crime to talk pinball, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. Let's get our Facebook going. Facebook, Saturday morning, spectacular. How's everybody doing? Nobody's in the house yet. August 23rd. Feeling good. Hungover, as life should be. Oh my God. We're gonna hear a little bit of that. Is that too? And let me know if that's too annoying. If you even pick that up, I've got my air conditioning unit. I'm out in the backyard. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Eric. How's everybody doing? We got a lot to talk about in the world of pinball. No drama today. In fact, I'm going to make a little bit of an announcement, but about all the, not even drama, just like how I want to do this channel moving forward and how I want to hang out with the Kaneda Club members and the community that enjoys Kaneda's Pinball Podcast. Feeling very blessed to be here in Rowayton, Connecticut. Heaven on earth, really, it is. Brenda's sister's here. Sad boy, we've been lowering our amounts. I missed the $50, brother. Let's see. What's good, brother? I'm buying a home use only Guns N' Roses LE with the topper, less than 400 plays on it. Literally $3K worth of mods for only $7,500. I'm committing highway robbery. Well, not a bad buy. You could get LEs for like $6,500 now, $6,000, but probably not with 400 plays in the toppers. I don't think that's a bad buy for you, sad boy. I don't think you're going to be sad with that game. I think it's a great look. In the end, all these Jersey Jack games for less than $8,000 are incredible buys. Everybody knows that. There are some really good deals out there. The sucker move is new in box for 13, new in box for 15. Like, it's just a sucker move. Why would you not get GNR Data East? Well, Daniel, I don't know, man. The JJP GNR is better than the Data East GNR. Come on. Like, let's not, we don't have to say silly things like it's not. It's much, much better. Got my iced coffee, went to the gym today. Feeling really good, really positive vibes. It's a good week at work. Let's just put this here. This is fine. Good week at work. Had to have a tough conversation at work with some people that were just kind of micromanaging and making everybody stressed out. And I had to sort of just put the hammer down a little bit and just be like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not treating each other like this. We're not acting like transactional ships in the night. Either we care about each other as people or we're not working together professionally. And you know what? A month later, everyone's feeling great. The team's doing great work and everyone's like collaborating as a team should. It was time. It was time. Should we talk a little bit about Cracker Barrel? No, we'll talk about Cracker Barrel in a little bit. Cracker Barrel. But yeah, man, that's the industry I work in. So if you ever wonder why I love and hate what I do for a living at times, it's because it's inundated with people that don't get it. They don't get culture. They don't get target audiences. They make silly mistakes and then they hide behind their virtual signaling all the time. But this is not Kaneda's virtual signaling podcast. It's Kaneda's pinball. Christopher Franchi, welcome, brother. Told that Slam Tilt podcast to pull in his Ryan? I don't even know. I don't know, man. I think what happens when there's not like a new game out, a lot of the content creator drama like pops up because people lose sight of what people actually want to hear about. So we've got a lot to talk about, game, because I really threw those rumors out there and confirm what's coming. And I've already upset some people. I know some people are angry that I've sort of let the cat out of the bag on some of these rumors. And I'll tell you this, it's going to be a crazy 2026. I think that 2026 is going to be won by JJP and Spooky. That's my prediction. I do. I think these two companies really have the most momentum and really have the most I think the themes people want the most. I really do believe that. How's everybody doing today? See, it's a beautiful Saturday morning, and being inside playing pinball is criminal today. So we're outside. I love how radically different my background is to like the majority of people who do content in this space, where it's like all games and dark little basements and LED lights and neon signs of companies, and I'm just here like, I don't know, just chilling. I almost feel good enough to have like a breakfast beer. You know what I'm going to do, Brian? Thank you for the 99 cents. You know what I'm gonna do? How many of you out there? Let me ask you a serious question. How many of you out there, like every week or every couple weeks, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, would be interested in a drunken Kaneda show? I don't know, like kind of like drunk history. It'd be fun. I think I want to do it with Kale though. Him and I should do it together because I think it'd be a lot of fun. We just keep drinking and we just take the piss out of the hobby in a more of an R-rated way. And I think it would be really funny. And I want to make that a $30 subscription show. Yeah. What's up? Retro Jengiz watching on Facebook. Retro Jengiz might be watching on YouTube. We're going to talk all about the rumors. We're going to talk all about the stuff coming down the pipeline. Lots of stuff. I think what's going to be crazy is the hits and misses we're going to see in pinball. The hits and misses for sure. What designer is making Transformers? I don't know. I don't even know if Transformers is confirmed. I'd be shocked if Barrels of Fun does not have Transformers, with Brian Savage having run the G.I. Joe and Transformer fan sites and conventions for like 20 years. Yeah, is there a guy that knows the relationship better at Hasbro than that dude? So I'd be shocked if he didn't find a way to use his personal relationships to secure those two licenses. But I don't know for sure. But the rumor of like Stern having Transformers, I don't know. Stern's got most of the leverage when it comes to securing licenses. I don't know. Maybe fun with drunk Kaneda, but please no repeat of the Twippy loss. Well, it was stolen from you, but no repeat of that. Yeah, Scott. The silver lining of the Twippy loss and my hissy fit was becoming really great friends with Kale. Before then, like Kale and I were friendly. We kind of bonded at the JJP meetup, but post Twippy loss was we both have like become like kind of like pinball besties in a way. It's awesome. Like him and Rachel are awesome. Electric Bat is awesome. They're just good people, and they're really down to earth, and they don't take themselves too seriously. I have moments where I absolutely take myself too seriously, and I like, act like a child and throw hissy fits, and then I wake up and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, that was stupid. I was, I felt blindsided by that loss, but also, it's not that it was robbed, man. Like, people didn't vote. They didn't vote. When the year prior when I won, I got 600 first place votes. I only got like 100, like 220. So people didn't show up. People didn't care about the Twippies. Let's see what we got here. Try pronouncing revisionist with that much alcohol in you. Look, Electric Cat. Cracker Barrel, anybody? Who wants to go to Cracker Barrel? Yeah, I did get a correspondence from the organizer of Pinball Expo to not go to Expo. It was it was a little like weird. I'm sitting out on a beautiful at Roaden Market with my boy Frank D'Angelo, and we're having a nice coffee and we're just having a nice time. And he's like, and I get a text message and I read it, and it's basically Rob Burke, who I really respect. Rob, he's a really nice guy, I know like Rob's like the messenger. Like this is not Rob wanting this. This is like people complaining to him. So he was like, Chris, I'm going to have, I want to ask you to like respectfully not come to Expo because of people's not wanting you there. Right. So, I didn't fly off the handle. I just called him. I was very nice about it. He said that it was It's Bob, isn't it? Rob Burke? It's Bob Burke? I thought it's Rob. Isn't it Rob Burke? I mean, Robert and Bob are like, isn't that like interchangeable? Okay. I thought it was Robert Burke. Okay. What's up, Kale? So we spoke, and he was very nice. You know, he said that it was Jersey Jack who had the issue with me being there, which I was confused by because I was just trying to think like, maybe at last year's expo, Jersey Jack was a little upset because I wasn't, promoting Avatar. But I told Rob, I was like, dude, I literally just hung out with Brett Abbas. So I highly doubt that JJP would be opposed to my presence at Expo. So, and he was kind of like, yeah, let me check. Let me see what the issue is. And look, I 100% know David Fix doesn't ever want to see me ever again. And look, as last year's show indicated, if I saw Mr. David Fix, I would shake his hand and say, how you doing, David? Good luck with everything, and move on. I mean, that's it. I don't have any ill will. I don't wake up and want to see anything bad happen to any of those people, even if some of those people really wanted bad stuff to happen to me, and they did. And I see it. Like, I understand the reason why they did that is they think that my disparaging comments about their companies are the reason why their companies failed. And they put blame on me for their lackluster sales. And I don't think I deserve that. I don't think whether I make content here in my backyard or content in my office at work, I don't think that makes your game any better. And I've always felt that when the content creators get accused by the manufacturers of being the reason why the companies failed. Andrew Highway vehemently believes that I caused people to get refunds and cause the collapse of his company. The lack of accountability internally at these companies by these decision makers, it never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I bet Marty and Damien also feel like my interrogation of their lies and their deception and their manipulation was one of the reasons why Haggis failed. Not the fact that they got into a big factory they didn't need, not that they didn't understand how expensive it was to actually get into manufacturing, not that, Kelts should have been the end of that company. I mean, I always said that. Kelts should have been the end of Haggis Pinball. It never should have got past Kelts. And having Kelts, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kelts should have laughed you at. You should have been laughed out of the convention with Kelts, and you should go back to, I don't know, doing whatever he did. He does like Damien was another one of these Andrew Highways. This is what the guys don't get, is like he had all these businesses going on, and they were all kind of like, they were all like a little shady. There was like real estate development, pinball, this, that, technology services. Like, it doesn't work. Like, these guys that think they're like serial entrepreneurs who can't do any one thing right. And what happens with all of them is always the same thing. They usually hit pay dirt on one of their ventures and they make some money. And then they think they're going to be successful doing everything. And that's where the money, I mean, you got to remember, like, Damon Hardin walked away burning hundreds of thousands of dollars of consumer dollars that were never returned to customers. Like, he set up his LLC, whatever he did, and people never got their refunds. And, and that's why Marty Robbins will never be really allowed back in this community, even no matter how hard some of his buddies try to say he wasn't responsible. You are responsible. You now have a job to get refunds for those people. It was your company. You were a partner in it. You went on all the content shows and convinced people everything was okay. And you hold some accountability for that. And when you pay people back, you will be forgiven. And we would happily love to have you back in the community. It's like Barry. Like, he made everybody whole on Big Lebowski. It took 12 years, but he made everybody whole. And nobody's calling Barry a crook anymore, because he redeemed himself. And again, you can't believe in God and you can't believe in just decency as a human if you don't have forgiveness as a trait. I really do believe that. And so speaking of that, just wanted to say this real quick for everybody. I've had my what's the best word? Is it a tassel? Is that a word with some of these content creators? I woke up the other day. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just tired of like always trying to bury hatchets, and I'm not going to do it anymore. So what I'm going to do is just not let those people who don't want to be part of this So they're not going to see this content anymore. They're not invited to be part of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast page, nor will they be here. So I don't think any of us are going to feel any loss whatsoever. And all that is like, I don't need people lurking in the shadows, getting inspiration from my content. And I know when you lose access to Kaneda's Pinball Podcast, you lose access to the most entertaining, the most informative, and the most like, I just think the best pinball podcast there is. I mean, I feel that way about myself. I mean, it's not about an award. I think that the 20 to 25 minutes 3 times a week is the model that works. And I think it works the best. And I think you hear everything in a timely, relevant fashion. And I think that's that. So it's good. It's good. I feel good about it. I think you guys are going to feel good about it. And I don't think there's going to because I don't want to get into what we got into, like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, where people are popping in and then like, sort of not responding, and I'm not doing it. I don't need those distractions, and I don't even need anybody else's content to make the best content. I feel like I've got an approach and a way of doing this that absolutely works for me, and I know it works for you. So let's talk about these rumors. Steve Ritchie is making Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's something that I knew about personally. I know that Jason Knapp put up his post about it, and he had that was like his guess. I love Jason. I do though. I do think Jason needs to make the site go back to being the lighter color. I don't like the dark color of Knapp's Arcade I don't like it. Like I'm gonna text him that today. You can switch it, but just switch it back. Just something about the dark. It's like Cracker Barrel. Like, don't change a good thing. Like, I know his sons worked on the site. Just don't change it. Just don't change a good thing. It was like people get familiar and accustomed to something. It's just leave it. Just leave it. Notice how there is like 1 with 80 people watching XD. All right. So let's talk about Sonic. So here's what I know. And, I mean, take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, but people who have played the Whitewood say it is the greatest Steve Ritchie game of all time. And it is not just a recycled Steve Ritchie game. What they say, they're like, Chris, man, the speed, like what the ball is doing, like people are just going to be blown away. And when you think about Sonic, it's the perfect theme for pinball. It better have a loop. It better have I think they're going to have Bucks firing the ball so freaking fast. And I think there's going to be a lot of that. Because remember, that's a lot of what Sonic is. It's like he starts spinning in place and then he shoots off. Steve told me it's the cutest game he's made. Well, the other thing too is it's going to be based on the Sega arcade, not arcade, Sega video game from the home, right? It's not going to be based on the movies, which is another great thing. I don't think anybody wanted the movies with Jim Carrey. We want it like the Sonic we've grown up with. So I'm excited. It's a while out, right? It's a while out. I know that the people over at Jersey Jack, when I talk to them, they have this air now of confidence and swagger they haven't had before. I think they had it when GNR came out, and I think GNR hit hard, but then all the play fields were falling apart. And I think that really bummed out Eric for a long time. But I know these guys feel like they've got some mega games coming out over the next 4 or 5 years, and they're super excited. And I like that it's one massive hit a year is what they're aiming for. I think that there's no looking back. They're never remaking Pirates. This is a company moving forward, and I'm excited about what JJP has going forward because I do think Stern's in big trouble. if they think they can charge what they're charging, and Jersey Jack just makes Stearns look like Tinker Toys. And, I'm going to talk about Stern in a little bit, but I think Stern's been way too slow to elevate like the quality of their product. And quality does not mean just like reliability. I just mean material quality. It's a great time for Kaneda's Pinball Podcast. Thank you, Trent. I appreciate it, brother. How's everybody doing, by the way? Like, really great we have 90 people on YouTube and we have 25 on Facebook. If you guys are liking the content recently, you know me, I love to get some stars, show your support. I'm doing these dual now on YouTube and Facebook so people can, pick where they want to get a free hour to 90 minutes of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast. Super excited to do this every week for everybody here. Yes, Bond created an image of an empty Sonic playfield yet. Look, I think everybody loves Elton John as a shooter. I just don't think you wanted Elton John as a theme. And I think Sonic is going to be like, it is going to be amazing to see Richie do Sonic. I'm really excited. So that wasn't the one that got me in trouble. Thank you, Wayne, for the stars. The one that got me in trouble. Kaneda, what? You're not supposed to say stuff. Why is he saying this? Is the Big Bang Bar remake. Yeah, there's a lot of Big Bang Bar remake angry people out there. And, I don't care. It's coming out. And it's not coming from anybody in America. How's that? It's not coming from anyone in Europe. It's not coming from anyone in Asia. It's not coming from anybody in South America. It's not, I'm just throwing out. Actually, all that was just made up. So we'll see who it's coming from. I'll say this: it's not coming from CGC, and I've said that before. See, no, Big Bang Bar was never a CGC. Next from CGC is Twilight Zone, and then I guess the Halo game that is never coming out. Let's see. No, I think Sonic's gonna do great, guys. Don't sleep on Sonic. And it'd be great if Stern had Super Mario Brothers. I think they both be great. I don't know. Look, I don't think Big Bang Bar is gonna. I heard they're making something like 250 of them or something like that. Like, how many did they make of the last remake? How many Big Bang Bars? Was it 300 or like 80? It was like some low number. Was it like 80 or something or 100? How many? I always forget this part of the Big Bang Bar. I know there was like barely any Capcom ones. There was like 20, 25 original. Okay, so there's 186. So now they're going to make at least that. So they're going to double the number of Big Bang Bars in the world. Now, the other thing I know they're going to do is before the artist, and I'm not going to butcher his name, Stanley Fuka, I'm not going to do it. Before he passed away, unfortunately, he worked on a new art package for the new Big Bang Bar. So I don't know if he was able to finish it all, but that will also be part of this. $5. I bet Kaneda has a predator hiding in those trees. Get to the chopper. Eric, thank you for the $5, brother. Let me tell you something right now. I think the Pinball Brothers are done. I don't know if they're going to be done, but that's my guess. I don't think they're going to survive Predator. And I think Predator is dead on arrival without Arnold. It's dead on arrival at the price they need to charge. And them cutting out their distributors is like the last straw. Like they just cut off the only people that ever helped them move product. I mean, so it's like that's a desperate move by a desperate company who then, when they talk, tries to talk with confidence and swagger. So I see right through it. I think they're desperate. I think they were expecting sales and they got none. I don't think they sold more than 100 of these things. And so, to spin it like this is good news and better get yours now. And we only have 150 spots left in our, production capabilities for 2025. It's all hogwash. it's all spin, it's all it's all designed and tailored, word manipulation to try to create a sense that you should act and buy it. It's not going to work. I look forward to playing the damn game at like Expo. I think it's just going to be a novelty game you play at shows, and I don't think anyone wants to own one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a pinball company can't survive with new in-box sales with that being the response to your product. Lots of games like that, gang. I'll jump on any pin at a show or at a barcade and enjoy it. I'm not going to open up my wallet and buy stuff like Hot Wheels, stuff like Galactic Tank Force. Yeah, I'll play it at a show. The more whiskey you got in you, the better Galactic Tank Force gets. He-Man. I think if anyone makes He-Man, it will be spooky. I don't know. The one game I'm always like, am I too hard on these guys? Is Dune. I don't, and I think, look, I've been way more judgmental about Dune as a theme than as a pin, and I know Mike has one at Automated. So I think I might try to drive over there one day soon and just like, bang on it for a few hours. I played it a little bit at a show. It's definitely like a beautiful looking game. And, so I want to give it more. Yeah. So Wayne, I don't deny that. I just can't. Is that on? Hold on a second. It's like the propane was on. Does someone know? Like, okay, when the propane valve was, one of the kids must open it, was opened on, but the barbecue gas wasn't on. So that means it probably wasn't like using propane, right? It probably just put enough in the tube, but then it's not going to keep asking for more, right? If the barbecue. Okay. All right. Thank you. Because you know what? One day I had a daddy brain and I barbecued dinner, and then I just forgot to turn the barbecue off. And I came home. I woke up the next day, and the whole side of the house was just covered in soot. What gets it off? Soot's annoying to clean, and it's simple green. Just slowly rub the simple green. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so Dune. Yeah. Okay, so I'll give Dune. I'll give Dune more. I think what Barrels needs, and they're trying and they're getting better. I just think they need better marketing. I think they need better marketing. I think they need a hype guy. I don't think they have a hype guy. I don't even know. Like, let me ask you guys a question. Who's like the best hype guys in pinball? Like on the manufacturer level, like Bug and Luke are awesome. Jack Danger's awesome. I'm sad Jack's kind of like taking a step back. I'm sad. Like, I don't know. I don't, people have been feeding me like, this is why they think it is. I know it was like, it seems like there was it's tough on the family. I don't want to get into it because it's a personal issue with Jack, and that's how I look at it. Like, I respect his decisions. I can't imagine he wanted to make that decision though. Like, he loves pinball. Like, it's a dream job. Like, I mean, it feels like one of those jobs where, like, if you're doing something you love, you don't work a day in your life kind of job. So I don't think it was the corporate world. I don't. I think it was like, I don't know. Like, I think like sometimes, and I'm just going to say this from my own experience, and it's harder now, is like the pressure on like dads and husbands and careers, and it hits both sexes. Like, you can't just go off and like make it now. You've got to like, I this is gonna sound like a little like not of the times, but one of the reasons why, like, I mean, my parents didn't come from any money. They didn't grow up with money. My mom was a stay-at-home mom when she had 3 boys, and, she was like she's an artist, so she was, like, sketching houses to make extra money on the side. She had to sell her jewelry to buy us, like, snow boots. Like, this is, like, when we were really young, and they were, like, massively in debt with the house they got because they didn't they just needed a place for their kids. And, my dad went to work and, like, focused on work and climbing the corporate ladder, and did like, if he had to like be home at 6 and put the kids down, he wouldn't have got those promotions. He wouldn't have climbed the ladder. He wouldn't have been where he needed to be to impress the people that brought him up with them. And so, like, everything our family has, because the dynamic was different then. Nowadays, it's like it's like husbands need to do like the expectation to do like half of like the early nurturing of it. It's just not in the nature. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just, and I don't, and look, Brenda's amazing, and I do my best. Like, I just did a full week with the kids, and she does it every week. So it's not like I don't deserve any credit. It's what a parent's supposed to do. And it is really hard, but you do get into a routine after a while, and it becomes the routine. And and I'm sorry, but like, if you don't want to like raise kids, then don't have them. I mean, that's the other thing too. It's like, but you can't have everything. You can't have everything. And I do think, sometimes you just got to respect that one person might be more of the breadwinner, and one person might need a little bit more like flexibility to like bake and make it. Like, it's very rare that you even have opportunities to make a good living in this world. I mean, it's easy for all of us. Like, we're like 99% men, in pinball, like talking like this. So word is from a very reliable source that Elwin is really unhappy at Stern. Yeah, I mean, Brenda and I are great. Like, I love my wife more than anything, and she lets me be me. She loves that I do all this pinball content. Whenever the pinball content would get me down, she's just like, "F those guys. Like, what are you worried about? Like, what anybody thinks? Just keep doing your stuff. I love you." She calls me baby boy. I call her baby girl. I love it. Well, it's let's see. Steven Jacobson is here. Steven, what's up, brother? I got the GNR shirt. You want to see it? You guys want to see a shirt that costs as much as a topper? Half as much of a topper. Hold on, let me go get it. It's so cool. They made these specially in 1993 when Guns N' Roses was touring Europe. There was a special concert that Johnny Versace organized, and Axel was there, and Axel had a special shirt that he actually got arrested in. With the Use Your Illusion on it, and Versace is amazing. But this is the shirt they gave to the staff that were working the concert. Let me go get it real quick. Hold on, it's really cool. I swear. All right, you ready? Let's see. See that Versace, Guns N' Roses. The back is the coolest part, though. Ready? Oh yeah, Axel wearing this. It's a great shot of Axl Ware in the center stage. Get in the ring. On Facebook, it's all backwards. I love it. But you can see Kaneda rocking this. Vintage, baby. I've been waiting. I waited like 20 years to find that t-shirt. Steven knows it. Like, those things don't come up for sale often. Like, the dudes who have all this like GNR memorabilia, like, they hold on to it. Steven's got some of the greatest. Steven here is my friend, guys, from New York City. He owns Guns N' Roses collector's edition that I hooked him up with, and he's got the Data East next to it. Huge GNR fan. One of the coolest things Steven has is he has, when Axl was performing at a concert, he was singing "Oh My God," and Axl wrote out the lyrics to the song like on a piece of paper in his like iconic handwriting. Axl's handwriting is super cool, and Steven's got that. And I believe Del James handed it to him. I was like, here, and like, so like I was like, dude, like that's just like the coolest thing to have Axl Rose write out his own music lyrics before going on stage, and you have it. So let me tell you guys right now, I've been catching a lot of flack, and Steven, you got to listen to this album. I'm telling you, don't sleep on it. Like, I know that people have all this prejudice around Machine Gun Kelly and think he's a chump and this and that. This new album by Machine Gun Kelly, Lost Americana, is one of the best rock and roll albums I've heard. I mean that. And I look, I like all good rock albums, and I'm telling you, when you know the story of this album too, where he basically like wrote all the songs, wrote all the music in his living room with his friends, you know, this isn't like he brought in producers to help him out the way all these other artists do. And you should see the interviews with him. It's really cool. Like, and the thing is, like, the dude hit like rock bottom, like he did. And he like effed up, was on drugs, like lost Megan Fox. They have a daughter together. Like, he hit rock bottom as a like man searching for his own, like fighting through his own insecurities, his own vanity, and then writes this album, and it's great. So Josh, when you say his music is awful, I think he's got a lot of bad albums. Same way Eminem had a lot of bad albums before he came out with Recovery. My point is, Josh, turn off the skepticism and just listen to Lost Americana. And if I don't know how you can't like this album if you like 80s and rock and punk, and the songs are all so good. And he crashes into like, yeah, no, it's okay, man. It's okay. You're not vibing with it. That's okay. I'm not gonna force it. Plays it's fun in the demon, baby, when I'm rolling in the demon. It's not auto-tuned. Wannabe pop punk. Anyway, all right, where were we? Predator fails on do you guys think Predator ends Pinball Brothers? What do you think? What do you think? Are the Pinball Brothers going to survive? We've got Christopher Franchi here. Franchi, can you answer us a question? I mean, you can't confirm it's Beetlejuice, but can you confirm for us that Michael Keaton's clips are in it? So people, like, it is a little bit of a bummer. I think Bug and Luke have spoken on this, and it's weird because like they haven't confirmed it's Beetlejuice, but they've confirmed that Michael Keaton's not doing the call outs. So it's like, why would you need him to do the call outs if you're not doing Beetlejuice? Well, Josh, you know, it's a good song. I don't care if it's auto-tuned. I don't care. Good music. It's like, I hope all of you have your orders in for Beetlejuice. I hope you do. So I haven't shown you guys yet, but Frank D'Angelo came over here. Let's talk about this. He came over here and he helped me move my 2 Neo Geos that were in the garage upstairs. And now what that means is What that means is, well, first of all, Axl Rose would smack you, Josh, for spelling his name wrong. Come on, man. Nobody spells it like that. Nobody. Um, the thing is this. I now have room for a pinball machine in the garage, and I'm gonna get a second pin. Guns N' Roses is staying here. I now want to make the garage the area where I swap in and out games. I want to play more games and have time on stuff, but I don't want the garage game to be like the LE that I'm just collecting forever and then I don't want to get rid of it. No, the whole point is I want to swap in and out. And what I want to do is, maybe work with a dealer or something, or to like borrow a game for like a week or a month, or like a week. My problem is like I just don't think it's like people want to give you a game to honestly review. I think there's always pressure to if Barrels of Fun sends me a Dune, there's gonna be pressure to like just like say you like it. So I don't know, like I it's hard to be an objective content creator when you accept something. So I might just have to purchase them, be fully transparent and not, but I'm not going to buy something I don't want to actually have in my house though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not going to be like, I'm not going to be losing thousands of dollars, like rotating games in and out. That's not happening. Is Beetlejuice just the first movie? Sequel is junk. Let's see. Oh, look, I really, I want to say, I really think that Star Wars might take that spot. And I think that's going to be what I want to put there is Star Wars. I hope it's great. I really do. I hope John Borg has like a redemption pin. Why would Keith Elwin be miserable at Stern? Like, why? He's got the biggest team working with him. He gets to have a game or two out a year, usually two. He's probably the highest paid designer in all of pinball. He probably gets a royalty on number of games sold. My worry if he goes to JJP, which people are rumoring, well, okay, so then what happens? He gets a game out every 3 years? Eric, Steve, Elwin. I don't think Mark Seiden's like on the roster for a next one. Maybe he is. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? If JJP only does one game a year, you're just always waiting online to be at the plate. Let's see. Is this Franchi talking about Beetlejuice? Well, I think what Spooky will do with Beetlejuice, like they did with Evil Dead, gang, you just get to pick. Do you want to play movie 1 or play movie 2? That's cool. That's the way to do it. I love that approach to handling multiple like movies like that. Yeah, JJP might scale up some. I think it just comes down to workers. It really feels like that, right? It's like to have a second line, you just need more workers. They've got this space for a second line. And they also just, these companies could also do double shifts. Like there's a day shift and a night shift, or a morning shift and a night shift. Like that's how like plants operate around the world. Well, I think Elwin is probably not used to like Kong didn't hit, right? And like for all intents and purposes, if I said that right, Kong's been a bust. And Kong's a bust because of the price. And Kong's a bust because they made them all look the same. It's not a bust because the gameplay is great. It's not a bust because the mechs, there's a lot of fun mechs in Kong. It's just a bust because when you add it all up, it just doesn't feel like it's worth the money. You don't remember 2 Elwins in the same year? I think there was a year there were 2 Elwins. I mean, I feel like Jaws and Kong were just like a year apart, right? I haven't seen the new Dune stuff, so I'm gonna go check it out. and I'm gonna go, Automated has it. I'm gonna tell Frank he needs to update the code on it. And, yeah, let me see how the game plays. I'm l look, I've always just been I just I just my feelings on Dune are simply this, like, if it was any other theme that people had more of an emotional connection to, he would have sold all 1,000 of them in a week. To have to slow burn sell the game, even if it is a great game, it's just like, I mean, I guess the saving grace for barrels, much like all these boutiques, is they can slow burn sell because they can only slowly make. They just need to always have more sold than parts have been ordered for. Like, that's it. If they can stay ahead of that, they'll be fine. See, Stern doesn't have that luxury. Stern's got to sell thousands of each. And what Stern's problem, which other manufacturers don't have, is, Stern's got a big problem because they've got that big warehouse and factory with thousands of unsold games, I hear. And then they've got dealers and distros around the country with thousands of unsold Venoms and John Wicks and you name it. Like, there's just all this unsold inventory, and Stern needs those people to keep buying the new stuff. And when you have a game like Kong and anyone who like overbought, it just doesn't work. And then they just go back and remake another Jaws or remake another this, and they're gonna keep doing that. And like, so when they remake Walking Dead, like, so then every single Walking Dead owner is gonna put up their old game for sale, and then they're gonna do the same thing again and again and again. And it's like, I don't know. Stern just kind of destroyed its own collectability, and I haven't seen them. I don't understand what they're doing on a marketing level. Like, they hired the new CMO, they've got Spike 3. They haven't really made a big deal about it. There's not like a launch date of Spike 3. The details come out with a podcast interview that like, but like, why isn't there like Stern should have like once a year, like what Apple does. They should have like a day in which they unveil all their latest innovations and technologies. They don't do any of that. Like, it's just, I don't know, they just feel like this, like, understand, like, but just, I don't know, make it a moment. Why isn't Spike 3's reveal a moment of the new cabinet, the new lighting, the new this, the new screen? Why isn't it a moment? Who is your favorite pinball manufacturer currently? Spooky. My second favorite currently right now is Jersey Jack. And my third favorite is Stern. Now, I don't know about you guys, but like those three are like my three favorites, just because I think out of all the companies out there, like they're the ones that I just look forward to seeing what they have coming. Nobody else has that level of like nobody else has that level of attention from the community. And I think everyone's top three are probably those three. I don't I don't like CGC the way they keep everybody in the dark. I just don't like that. Um Barrels is fine. I don't Labyrinth into Dune doesn't excite me as a 49-year-old with money to burn who grew up in the 80s and 90s. I don't get excited by either of those. And like, I grew up in the 80s. I just wasn't a Labyrinth guy. And if I watched Labyrinth, I watched it because I thought Jennifer Connelly was making me tingle, right? And they took her out of the game. So I wouldn't imagine watching Labyrinth without her in it. I don't get it. I don't want to play, like, I'd rather play the Muppets. Stern still makes the funnest games. Is it funnest or most fun? Um, I don't know. I think a lot of people would argue that Harry Potter is more fun than King Kong. I think a lot of people would say that. I think a lot of people would say that Elton John is more fun than John Wick and more fun than Venom and more fun. I think Stern games are great, the ones that are great. When Stern makes a great game, they make a great game. There's no denying that. Again, you don't become the biggest pinball company in the world by making garbage. I just think Stern's licensing and Jody's decision making has been really bad. They just like how again, like it always will come back to how did you pass on Back to the Future? How did you do that? Yeah, I'm excited to see what Barrels does next. I know some of the titles that Barrels was pursuing or claimed to have had when I signed my NDA. One of them for me is an insta buy, and they both were insta buys, but they had lost one of the licenses that I was told they had. So they were both insta buys for me. So I just it's easy for me to not buy a Dune. I don't think I'm unfairly ragging on Dune, but it's it's not moving the way I think they thought it would. My Iron Maiden Pro has me currently $4,500 on the used market. Say what you will about the communication and slowness, but CGC games speak for themselves. Yeah, I don't want to own any of them though. I don't like supporting companies that do things that way. There's so many other good games, and I don't want my money to go to CGC because of how they deal with their customers. I think they're smug about it. I think they don't care because to me, it's not hard to just communicate and to be transparent and to, you know, just let people know where you're at and just tell the truth. Let people know like how delayed things are. Tell the truth. They don't do any of it. So I would never give them any of my money. Do you have any recommendation for a first pinball machine for a home? That's a good question. A first pinball machine. Yeah, it's a really good question. If I were to, first of all, I think there's two things. I think it would be a Stern. It would be a Stern machine. Because I think again, you want something they're the most reliable, and they have the most. I think most Sterns have the most replay value. From there, you got to kind of I would say you're gonna have to like a theme you like. I do think Lord of the Rings is a good one, Hector, but Lord of the Rings hard to find now, and it, but that was my first pin, and I will say Lord of the Rings is one heck of a great first pin. It's kind of it's nice too because it's like when it shows you. I think when you get Lord of the Rings and you're playing on that DMD, it'll remind you what you love about pinball more than some of the modern stuff because everything magical is happening under the glass. I think on some of these newer games, they're way too complex. They're a little bit harder to get into. So Lord of the Rings is definitely one to think about. I would say this. I'm going to say something just right now. And again, you can kill me. But if I were to get just a first game to have in the home to just play pin on, get my pinball skills, developed, I would buy an Iron Man. I think an Iron Man would be one of the best first pins you could have for a home. I think it's fast, it's fun, but it will like give you all the skills you need to then like become better on every machine you buy after it. There's no clunkiness. It's got a fun mech. It's got magnets. Like it's like a really, really good first pin. And also the thing I like about Iron Man is like it's not going to cost you like $9,000-$10,000. Star Trek is good too. Well, the problem with the LCD screen, guys, is it's like this. You then have to fill it with stuff. Yeah, I'm still not sold on 8 things happening at once when Harry Potter is being played. Like I don't like that. I love Harry Potter when the full screen becomes something. The movie clips, it takes over. Like I love the way GNR uses the screen. When Harry Potter is like 8 things are happening at once, and I just not how I would do it. A Jurassic Park Pro is a good option too. But again, my advice is always go to a show. This is what I would always do. Go to a show and just play everything. Just play everything. Get in early, play everything, and see what you like. That is really what you have to do. It is so Star Wars to me, gang, it's like I don't know. I think there's going to be an AT-AT. I heard there's a big AT-AT in the upper left of the game. I think they're going to do the orbit around the legs to drop it down. And I think I have to buy that game. I mean, Star Wars, if they get Star Wars right, it'll make hypocrites out of us all. Like the LEs will sell out instantly. Anyone who has the Richie Star Wars is going to just their games are just going to tank in value. I don't know, Anthony. Like, there hasn't been a great Star Wars machine. So how can you say enough with Star Wars? Like, if nobody's made a great Star Wars machine, can you imagine Star Wars on Jersey Jack's platform? Can we just start crying inside that that's not ever going to happen anytime soon, though? Can you imagine, though? Like Jersey Jack with that big screen and the scrolling with the theme song of A New Hope. Can you imagine? Like way more emotional connection than Harry Potter has for people. I mean, the Data East Star Wars is not great. Yeah, JC's right. A good first pin is when you can just walk up to and know what you're doing. I think Batman 66 is a good first pin. I gotta be honest, not gonna be cheap, but it's a good first pin. Yeah, there's never gonna be another Guardians. Yeah, I think we might get the Star Wars teaser on Friday. And, I think the game will come out like September. I'm excited, gang. Like really excited to see it. And then it's going to be the countdown to Spooky's next game. And, I want to say Big Bang Bar Remake should be at Expo. Who's going to Expo? I think I will be at Expo. Melvin and Rob Burke. We've been saying something that we should do. We should do a fundraiser that's a Kaneda dunk tank. I really think that would be great. Like we should do a Kaneda dunk tank. We can put Damian Harden's face on the bullseye to throw the ball at, and you can dunk Kaneda for like $10. I think it would be a lot of fun. We can use that money. We can raise that money for a good cause. And we were telling Rob, like, we'll make more money on that dunk tank than you realize. Like, people would love to have a chance at it. I'm ready. I'd do it. Let's get a dunk tank in there. Look, nobody makes more fun of me than me. Like, we need more self-deprecating humor. So, let's see what he says. Yeah, Hector's like, I'd pay $50. Like, that would be great. The Damien face on the bullseye is amazing. And I'm gonna wear a shirt that says Marty's shoes. Remember Marty's shoes in the corner? Yeah, that is a problem, right? Isn't next year the Star Wars 50th? Whoops. Well, I know. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of like I think a lot of us, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of us are feeling pretty content with the games we have. It doesn't change what is the most enjoyable thing in this hobby, which is the connection we have with each other. Like the friendships we've made, the ability to geek out over this stuff is where the energy in pinball is. It is meeting your friends out for drinks at, barcades. It's going to shows. The games now are just all overpriced. Like everybody just knows that. Like there's like this, it's almost just like cliche to complain about pinball pricing now because everybody knows these games are severely overpriced. Like, they gaslit us. They remove stuff from the games. There's less in these games than there used to be, and they're twice the price. And, you're either a sucker that keeps buying them and losing thousands of dollars, or you've woken up to the new reality. Is like, only an idiot buys like new in box now right away. Because, like, if you just wait, by the time the code is done, you'll be able to get like a King Kong LE for like $8,500. Like, it's like some sucker is going to pay 13 plus shipping and maybe taxes, and you're going to get one for almost 5,000 off if you wait a year. And the game's not going to be done for a year. It's like, I don't even understand like the logic to like go in early and like keep playing an incomplete game. Like, even when people talk to me about Dune, I'm like, well, I get it, but I don't know. Like, why would they even launch a game so incomplete? I think, look, I've said this, Brian, and I think you made a good buy. I think Jaws 50th, when all is said and done, they're going to make less than 1,000 of them. I think they're going to be more valuable than the Jaws LEs in the long run, because they have the nicer play fields, the sparkle, the nicer ramps and the wires. Jaws 50th will be, in the end, the more desirable game. And it also shoots better. A little thing they did was they fixed a lot of the mech issues that are on the Jaws LEs. People don't realize this, but when Stern makes a game for like 2 years, they make a lot of improvements. The final run of the game plays significantly better than the early editions. I mean, the final runs of Batman 66 play twice as good as the original games. Like, the SLE plays like crap next to Catwoman edition. So people don't want to, like, they don't often discuss that, but it's the truth that when you get a later run of a Stern game, a lot of improvements have happened that they don't communicate. JC, I think you made the right move. I have a distributor friend that got stuck with 30 GNRs he paid $300K for and is selling. Yeah, he's losing money on every one. Mike has like 80 of them at Automated. They fixed the airball issues on the Jaws 50th. They absolutely fixed it. Now, the problem is like, and look, I know I made a dig at our, at Loser Kid for having the promo code to help move the Funhouse units. You guys heard my show last week. Because I don't think that a pinball content creator should be helping a distro move product like with a discount code. It'd be like if you put in Kaneda's Pinball Podcast, you get $500 off at Automated to move his GNRs. Like, I don't think that's like really ethical to do that. Like, why would we do that? Like, just take $500 off the game. Like, why does there need to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even when the funny thing about Funhouse is nobody wants it. Like, they didn't sell any. And the problem with GNR and Funhouse Remake, the problem with all of them is the used market is still thousands less than these distros are trying to discount them at. So it's like, like, that's the problem, is you can't even, like, and what's $500 off is nothing. You should get $3,000 off some of these games. I just don't think people's like journalistic integrity should be for sale. Like, that's just how I feel. It's easy for me to say that too, because I make the most probably out of any podcaster in the content space for pinball. People might make more money on YouTube. I don't know. I don't have a line of sight to people's finances, but it's funny to me because when you don't sell out, when you're not a shill, when you don't take money, like special interest money from people, you make the most money. Yeah, I mean, it's like this. Like, I do say that proudly about Kaneda's Pinball Podcast is I've never, the only thing I ever took once was that trip for Jersey Jack to go look at Avatar. But again, I offered to pay for my trip because I went to Stern when I was there, and they refused to take my money. And I didn't like the game. I came back and I said disparaging things about the game. I think it's a soulless, beautiful game. I still think that way about Avatar. Well, is it any different that news networks taking? But the thing is, Josh, is this: in all media, there's a separation between the ad side of the business and the editorial side of the business. The moment there, it's church and state. Like editorial content is not supposed to be impacted by the advertising side of the business. Okay. But once you start advertising promo codes to help sell fun houses, right? So think about it. Just think about it. Think about the conflict on that. Are you then going to say disparaging things about Funhouse when your own show is a discount for the game to help and you're getting paid by the distributor to help them move their product? It's 100% a conflict of interest. I think Randy Martinez will be on Star Wars. He is the Disney Star Wars artist. I think he'll do a good job. I mean, Mando looks good. I don't want Yeti on Star Wars. It's just not his style. I think. Look, it pains me to say this, but like, if Kong looked like original Kong movie posters that were iconic and legendary, Kong would have sold twice as well. If the entire Kong game was based on the iconic Kong films, it would have sold twice as well. Jeremy Packer is an amazing artist. Jeremy Packer's King Kong looks more like a children's book than the King Kong the world knows and loves. It's just the way it is. It's a cartoony vibe to it. And it's just not Kong. I'm sorry. Like, I'm allowed that opinion. And I love his art. And when his art is directed in the right theme, and it works so well, it's just not Kong. But, as I said earlier, and I know we have more people now. This week I've made a decision that for the people that don't ever want to like shake hands or make amends, like they're off. Like they're not part of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast page anymore. They're not invited to see the content. No ill will. I wish everybody the best of luck, but they can do their stuff. They can have their audiences, but they're not going to be hanging out here, not watching my content, not drafting off of my shows. Wasn't many people really, right? Majority of people still get along great. Loser kids still, welcome to be here. I enjoy their interviews a lot. I really do. I don't think they need to do those like flipping out ads. I don't. I actually like just think they don't need to do it. I just don't think they need to do it. Flipping out's doing great. Flipping out is crushing it, gang. Like Zach and Greg and Nicole and Ken, like they put the effort in. There's no other way around it. A lot of distros and dealers are stuck marketing they don't do enough work to get in front of people and don't do enough content to get consumers. Like, you put in the work, you get the results. It's that simple. Like, I have no ill will anymore against any of these people. I just think they should everyone's got to hustle more than they used to. That's the way it works. And you hustle, you get the business, And again, I said it on my last show. I think for them, it's smart to get these content creators to run ads for them in front of their shows. I don't think it's smart for the content creators. It's everybody's prerogative, though. I mean, it's all pinball. It doesn't matter. It's not hurting anybody. It's not solving, world hunger. It's I'm sure everybody saw the Cracker Barrel CEO, right? Let me get a little bit on the soapbox. It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, even after the Bud Light thing, even after the continued failure, the failure to cancel Sydney Sweeney, the failure to the failure by the really extreme progressive movement in America to sort of a few things happening. It's this dumbing down of brands, the flattening of society, so that the only way to grow your business is to change and make it more appealing to audiences and communities that don't like your brand. And it's not about like woke, it's more about like people who, and like I'll tell you this, like one of the most painful brands that I've ever worked on was like, I'm not even going to say it, like, because I don't want to get in trouble, and I would get in trouble. Like I sign client confidentialities, but what the safe way to say it is every brand has its roots, right? It has its roots, whether like it's rooted in a country where it was founded, it's rooted in a founder story. And I've never understood the very reason why people love the brand in the first place is because of those things, right? It's like because of those things. And then they move away from it. We don't want to be looked at with those cliches. And it's the cliches and the stereotypes. That's the reason why people love you. They choose you because of that, because of where you're made, because of the grit of the nation you come from, or because of the founder who had this point of view. And when they, and so like, and I think the problem is growth. It is that some brands have hit peak growth, right? So I'll give you an example. You could sell like, I don't know, like Russian vodka, right? That could be something you sell. And you've reached this many consumers. And you think, well, we need to now get, people in South America to drink our brand. There's a growth opportunity because nobody there drinks it, right? But the reason nobody drinks it is because culturally they don't drink vodka. They drink tequila. So it doesn't matter what you do. And you could try to sacrifice everyone who loves your brand, who loves vodka, to try to appeal to the people that only want tequila. And this is what happens in marketing, is you get this weird sort of like demand to always be growing at the sacrifice of who you maybe are as a company, as a culture, and as a brand. And that's what I deal with on a weekly basis. Now, I will say this, primarily in my industry, it is a very overly liberal dominated industry, right? It is this like very elitist artistic point of view where you would be shocked how there is like an almost a, not even like a rejection, but just a deflection that there are even people in the world that don't think like them, that vote it differently than them, that like chicken fried steak, that like McDonald's when it had a pirate ship and a ball pit, right? They literally think everybody thinks like them. And that's what is crazy. And I'm very moderate. Like I respect everybody. Like I think there's some crazy cultural stuff going on and the culture wars. What's funny to me is like, it's so obvious. It's so obvious what way the world wants to go. You know what I'm saying? 92% of people, these are accurate numbers. 92% of people don't believe in woke culture. They don't believe in what's happening with kids, in how they're pushing this agenda out. All of a sudden now, all these kids have mental health issues. Why? Because you've introduced them to these issues. You've made them feel like in a period in their lives where they're a little like unsure about everything, which is what the natural thing is to be in adolescence. You've now introduced them to things that are destroying their psyche, damaging their childhood, like removing their ability to have fun. Like and that's progress. The annihilation of childhood peace of mind, the annihilation of the family unit, the annihilation of anything masculine. That's progress? No, it's not. And the good news is this, is most people are moderate. Most people are moderate. Most people are socially liberal and fiscally conservative. That's what I am. If you're not, like, if you're like, I don't think anybody, like, then you're going to be unhappy. The happiness in life, you need to aim for that, for the middle. The middle is where peace of mind is. It's the line in the yin and the yang. Like you should, and educated people should want to have discourse and understand other people. And that's always what kills me in marketing is I often feel like my opinion is immediately discarded and my you know my belief system is immediately ignored if I don't immediately come out as being, that way. And that's just how it is, right? So, and I'm I think I'm very smart because I respect everybody I work with. I don't get into it. I sit back and laugh when stuff like Cracker Barrel happens, stuff like American Eagle happens, because I just think like, here we go again. It's like the progressives just can't, they don't know how to win, and they never will win, and they don't know how to like just pull it back a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it is the art of common sense. So that's, why we end up with Cracker Barrel. And that's why, like, to bring it back to pinball, right? To bring it back to pinball. Like, it's I think what's crazy to me is that any pinball machine would fail. You know what I'm saying? No way. What are those? Are you Red Hulk? No way. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Show everybody. Come here. Hulk smash. Come here. Hold on. Don't hit the mic, though. Show them. Rawr. Give them a Hulk smash. Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, smash. Rawr. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can play out here, buddy. I'm just doing my show, okay? He's a boy. He's a young boy. He's so beautiful. Like, he's the way his mind works. And and like, boys develop different than girls. Like, it's just crazy to me that I would start talking to him about gender fluidity. I had to throw some books out. I mean it. I had to throw some. I didn't tell this to Brenda. Like, people give us these books, like, trying to introduce all these complex, like social issues to like children. Like, throw them all. I threw them all out. I know there's bird poop on the ground. I'm going to pick it up, but thank you for pointing it out. He likes to point out everything wrong. He's like his dad. He's like, what's up?
How are you going to get the bird poop off the floor if it sticks to the floor?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a brush with some soap and clean it like that. Okay. Beautiful day here. Gang, we are almost at the half-hour mark. Like, the Cracker Barrel CEO is going to get fired. Like, we all know this, right? Like, the funniest part now is waiting for the CEO to get fired and then to roll it all back. And I saw the CMO was like, this is the Cracker Barrel people asked for. We brought it. Like, clearly not. Clearly not. Like, look, I think I'm just going to say this, right? You know me. I think people are happy. No. Oh, my final point is this. When kids are going through difficult moments in life, I wouldn't try to change them. Like, they're beautiful for who they are. They're children, don't try to change them, put thoughts in their heads. Like, look at these little messes. Like, you guys got to see this. Like, come here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Don't hit the wire, because then it's going to, but come here, little guy. Look at this. Hold on. Kill him. No. What are you doing? What? Come here. Give me Cass. Give me Cass and come here. Hold on. Okay, you want to see? Hold on. Here. Well, you gotta bring into now. We gotta bring into the YouTube. Come here. Give me a little guy. Look at this little messy. Look at this guy, Cassian Andor, the leader of the rebellion. Will you stand up? Oh, we got both of them. All right, here, come here. You gotta bring him in. Bring him in. Oh, my boys! The future of pinball podcasting is intact. All right, no, that's okay. Like, get them off me. They're heavy. They're growing up so big. It's like little marshmallow man. Oh, I had them both for a week. Oh,
Do not punch the screen.
wait, what happened? Am I muted? Hold on. They muted me. They muted me. Oh, Jack Danger in the house. They muted me. Look, everybody. I wish you could see how beautiful it is here in Rowayton, Connecticut today. And I mean this when I say this, like, good vibes. Like, wake up every day above ground and you made it, man. You made it. Like, we're a rock hurling through space at 10,000 miles an hour. Life's too short to hold on to stuff. Is it still muted? I think it's unmuted now. Am I still muted? I unmuted the mic. I'm back. Look, life's too short. Enjoy your Saturdays. Thank you for being a member of the Kaneda Club. If you are not a member, please join. If you want to give the gift of Kaneda to someone, it's available now. You can give the gift of like a year membership to people. And, I would love that. And I love seeing most of you guys on the Patreon page. It's still muted? It's not muted for me. There's no way some people can hear me and some can't. Anyway, everybody, happy Saturday. God bless everybody. Later. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was fun, right? Yeah. Yeah. Both of them. Yeah. You want to hit me slightly, softly? Not hard. Okay. All right, guys. Uh-oh. It looks like someone who ordered a haggis pinball. Later.